Yeah, I am going to continue with the video here because the other day someone was sitting here. There was a man. This door is wide open. I believe this is for a fire escape, possibly. But this is wide open, and there's a man sitting over here the other day. So I don't know what's going on with this door, but they go in and out of this door, and I don't think it's that's why there's a code up front. As you come into this building, there's a code to get into this building, but they've been using this door at the end, and there was a man sitting there the other day. So the same thing with the Y. There was people coming in and out, and they were telling people to be careful of people coming in and out that weren't checked in, that were getting in without being, what do you call it? You have to put in your code with security. So this is the problem women deal with, and I'm not going to talk about male violence. That's not my lane with law enforcement, but I am continuing to speak with women fleeing domestic violence, and they were actually turning women away over there at the Y. And this is partly the reason, because there's these thugs that are on the inside that prevent other women from seeking services or getting help. If you're there for a certain amount of time, you should move on. If you have a job, a car, you're having parties in the bathroom, you got a group of thug friends that you hang out with and harm other people, you need to move on to housing, to regular housing. And that's part of the problem. These people are allowed there, and I was told, well, the rent is only $400. So people are allowed to stay there much longer than they should. It's for, it should be for women in crisis with children. But what happens is these people are allowed to live there a long time. So if you're in crisis, there's nowhere for you to get housing. I was almost 5 years in Amsterdam homeless. And then one snowy evening, this woman came from social services and gave me a bunch of numbers to try to make it look like she was doing her job. And I have reservations. So I had to come all the way here to Schenectady, and this is the kind of violence I had to deal with. And then I was told the Schenectady police would laugh in my face. So this is what women face once you are no longer homeless and you try to get housing. And I'm not talking about going to a shelter. Like I said, the whole shelter thing needs to be looked at. Shelter is not permanent affordable housing. It certainly isn't safe. Certainly a lot of times you don't have transportation, or it's late in the night. Then they expect you to be out early in the morning, or they'll dump you at a hotel, and then you're on the hook for a lot of money. I just spent $3,000 over here in the Pine Hills. I went to college here 40 years ago. It's disgusting that this is what you can do over there across from the Archdiocese, right here next to Albany Law, right in here in one of the nice neighborhoods in Albany in the Pine Hills section, and this is how you're treated. $3,000. How many people have that? And I don't have it either, to consistently pay landlords and get ripped off, have a national grid bill that's out of control. I just spent $1,000 in Amsterdam doing the same thing. But this is what we got. We got these kinds of groups of people that prevent other people from getting housing. So once an unhoused person comes inside, oftentimes it is safer to be outside. I slept a lot better, barring, sexual abuse or sexual harassment, as far as just sleeping, having a good night's sleep and getting up and being okay. Once you're inside here, it's constant harassment with either noxious smells that they disguise with, say, cooking. You understand sometimes people culturally have different foods, or they have pets or whatever, but that's not what's going on here. So I'm going to continue to speak out. Hope everyone's safe, but please have some compassion for people that are homeless. Yes, there are groups of, that need services, but no more than in the general population, okay? There's no more criminality or mental health issues. And oftentimes women that are homeless are victims of sexual harassment, sexual abuse, male violence, domestic violence, and so on and so forth. So please have some compassion as we deal with what's going on with homeless people being the target of more and more violence. Be safe out there, guys.